Well, hello out there, YouTube world. Welcome in the kitchen with Tally Faye. I hope everybody had them a good 4th of July weekend. We did. Boy, we had a wonderful time. We took us a trip, went up to Oklahoma, up to Broken Bow, and went up to there to that Beaver's Bend State Park. That's a nice park, y'all. We went up there and met the kids and hung out with them for 4 days, and that Mountain Fork River is nice, y'all. That's like ice cubes in it, and it's clear, you know, and everything and all that, and everybody, the kids get to kayak and do all that. Buzz got to do his trout fishing, and boy, he got him some trout, some pretty ones. I didn't take any pictures or nothing. We couldn't get any service while I was up there. So anyway, we had a great 4th. I hope y'all did. So we've been home all this week, and I decided I'd get in here and cook something for us and get it on there with y'all. So this evening, the first thing I'm going to work on, y'all, while we were up there, we had this big turkey breast, this big smoked turkey breast. And I have half of it in the refrigerator. So what I'm going to do is make this dish where you take your turkey breast and you slice it. And I got to make us, the first thing I'm going to show you is making a quick little cornbread dressing. Okay? So we're going to you make your turkey breast and slice it, or you do your turkey breast and slice it, make your dressing, and we're going to layer it in there. A lot of times people will do the roll-ups with it. I might do the roll-ups, but I just would rather just layer it and be done. But anyway, you put that in a baking dish, your layered turkey and dressing, and then you put your gravy over it and put it in there and put it in the oven and let it bake. So that's what we're going to have. And then I'm going to show y'all some other things we're working on. But anyway, I'm glad to be back with y'all. Had a great holiday weekend, and I just hope everybody's doing good. So here we go, y'all, with the first things first. We're going to do this little cornbread dressing here, and I'm just wanting to make just a little bit because I'm not doing a big batch for a Buzz and I, right? You know, we don't need a big old batch of dressing. So what I got here is I have me just a little old 9 by 9 dish. I think that's what this is, and I sprayed it. Okay, my oven is preheated on 400. Okay, now I've got me 1 cup of the self-rising cornmeal mix. Okay, self-rising, 1 cup of that. I'm gonna put it in my bowl, and then I have me a half a cup of self-rising flour. All right, 1 cup of your cornmeal, excuse me, 1 cup of your flour. Both of them are self-rising. Now, since how I'm making dressing, let me get this, y'all. Since how I'm making dressing, you know how you put eggs in your dressing when your cornbread is baked and you start putting everything together? I am taking and putting all my eggs in my cornbread when I bake it. That way they're not raw in the dressing when I get ready to bake it up. Okay? So I'm putting extra eggs in this cornbread. So I have 4 beaten eggs in this bowl right here. Okay? I want to go ahead and put me a little. No, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm not even going to put me no salt in here. Because it's self-rising, it has everything else in it though, right? So I'm just kind of mixing up my flour and my cornmeal there. I'm going to dump my eggs in it. Y'all, this is easy to make this little pan of dressing, this little old thing of dressing here. There's my 4 eggs to make it really eggy. And I need me a splash of oil, just a splash. Okay? That was probably more than, a little more than a splash, but it ain't gonna hurt it. Okay, don't be scared. Here we go. There's our oil, eggs, cornmeal, and our flour. Now, the only other thing I got left is I want to put I'd use buttermilk if I had it, but I don't, so I'm just using whole milk. Y'all know I call this sweet milk, right? But I'm going to put me just a little bit in there to start with. And we're going to get it. I'm going to make it a little bit thin. I want to do it a little bit thin because I want to crumble this, right? So if you just start off putting little splashes of it in there, then, you know, you won't overdo it. Give me a little bit more. And there's no science on that, okay? You just want it to where it stirs up like a nice batter, which is all you're trying to do. Get it stirred up here. Alright, that's getting pretty thin. Let's see. I mean just a smidgen, and I do mean a smidgen. There we go. That's where we're going with that. Let me put this up. It is some kind of hot cooking out there. Outside in Iola, Texas today, y'all. I mean, this old weather is baking everything out there. I got my water sprinklers going and stuff, but only up around the house. You know, it's done got to the point where you can't, if you're trying to water way out in the yard and stuff and everything, you're really just wasting the water. Alright, here we are. Let me do it. Let's just see how that's pretty thin, right? Alright, I've got it whipped up. Put it in my little old pan here. Do it kind of like that. Alright, we're just going to pour it up in there. And I think this is a preference, y'all, on whether you like the crumbly crust bites in there, right? Some people do, some people don't. I like mine to, I don't want the big crust, I don't want the dark crust on mine if I can help it. So I'm just going to get it in here, bake it, and as soon as it's done, I'm going to take it out of there. I don't want it to brown any more than it has to. So we'll put this in the oven, get it baked, and we'll come back and I'll show you how we are going to chop up the vegetables and get those ready and stir up our dressing and get it ready to put in our turkey slices. Okay, while the cornbread's baking, I went ahead and I cut up, y'all. I have celery and onion on here. Now, you know, depending on how big a pan you're making is however much celery and onion you want in there, or if you don't want them in there at all. But I can't imagine making dressing without celery and onions. But some people don't like it, so do what you want to do on that. But the Tally-Faye way is this. I have me a big onion cut up and about 3 nice stalks of celery, leaves and all, chopped up in there, okay? And I've got over here on my stove, I'm melting a stick of butter. I'm starting to melt my butter. I have 1 full stick in there. And I'm going to go ahead and take my onions and celery and put them in there. And I'm going to get them sauteed, y'all. I'm going to get them sauteed up while that cornbread's baking because I want them to be ready. And then I wanted to show you in here, I have going in this little pot, this is the skin off of that turkey. And I got me some water in here. And I'm going to let that boil, y'all, while I'm waiting on all this other stuff. And let that fat, you know, the skin has got lots of flavor in it. So I'm going to let that sit there and boil while I'm doing my other stuff and add that liquid to my dressing. It'll be good in there. Or the gravy, either one. I just wanted to tell you that I did that because, see, here is my turkey breast, y'all, that I have left. I've got one side left of a big old smoked turkey breast there, see? So I'm going to take it and I'm going to slice it. Whatever way I can figure out how I'm going to slice him off of here. I have a meat slicer I've been wanting to use that I acquired, but this has got the bone in it, and so I won't be able to do him on there. You know, take it on that machine and do it like that and get the really thin slices. That's when I could probably do the roll-ups, y'all. But this way, I'm just going to slice it off of there, and we're going to layer it up with that dressing when we get that done. So the cornbread's cooking, the onions and celery are sauteing in the butter, and we're going to be ready to mix it up after that. I got some light bread, white bread that I'm going to mix in with our cornbread when I break it up. I like to put me some bread slices in there with my cornbread. But it's going to be our white bread and our cornbread, our sauteed onions and celery, and our chicken broth. I got some canned chicken broth. I have some in the freezer, but I just picked up a couple cans of it while I was at the store that we will use for our liquid in there, and then a few little seasonings. The only seasoning I'm going to use in mine is a little bit of chicken bouillon and a pinch of poultry seasoning, y'all. That's what I put in my dressing, is the poultry seasoning. I don't have to get out all the sage and the whatever and stuff and everything. Poultry seasoning has all that in it. And that's what I put in mine. And I'll put me a little black pepper and salt and stuff in there. Go easy on the salt though because of the bouillon. But we'll get there on that. Let's get our cornbread baked and get our celery and onions done. Y'all, I want to show you this. Looky here what Buzz put up. What he worked on yesterday. How beautiful is that, y'all? This is his carrots from the garden. And he put up these big old pretty quarts of them yesterday. Is that not beautiful? Tell me those won't be good like in a soup or a pot roast or anything where you want to add carrots, or just eat them like that, buttered and salted. Or the kids like it when you do them with some brown sugar and butter on them like you do yams and stuff. But anyway, I wanted to show y'all those, how beautiful they were. That's from more of the garden bounty, Buzz's carrots. And he put them up. He did all of it. So I'm going to let this do this and let the vegetables get done and the broth from the skin and get that ready, and we'll come back and start putting everything together. Now I wanted to show y'all how this looks when it starts getting ready, getting close. And another thing that I did, okay, I told y'all I put a stick of butter in there, right? So I put that in there, my stick of butter and my vegetables, and I let them sit there and start, you know, cooking down in that butter. But I got me about half a cup of water just now and put in there, and that's going to cook them down even softer, make them soft. And I like to take my smasher here, my little vegetable smasher thing, and kind of smash on them in there, and that breaks them down better. And when you're doing that, you can feel if they're soft or not, because you can tell, like some of them, I can still tell some bigger pieces are crunchy in there just yet. So I want to make sure that I get them good and done like that in there first. But that's what I do with that. So that's what it's looking like. It's getting close, y'all. I get that done, and see, I just got that little bit of, look at that. Look at that. It's going to make some good broth, y'all. And then Lulu will be in heaven eating on that turkey skin. But I'm just letting that sit there and cook and make me some broth. Look at those pretty carrots. I can't quit showing them off. They're so beautiful. I think they are anyway. Look at that. Alright. Okay. I wanted to show you my cornbread before I dump it out of there. See, look how light it is. See, I just barely got it done. It's just barely done in there. So I'm just going to take my, and look, oh, I've got just a, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 4 slices of white bread here, y'all. I cut the crust off of them, but we'll see if I think that's enough for this little batch of it here. Let me see here. Look at that. Right out of there. Oh, look, and see, beautiful on the bottom. It's not dark brown like I want it. But if you want that crusty crust in there, them little bites, do it. Let it brown a little more, you know. Woo! It's hot right now, y'all. Okay? I'm going to take it, and I'm going to crumble it up, and I'm going to crumble this bread in there as well. So, that'll take me a little bit. Okay, so now I've got it all crumbled up, see? Got it crumbled up in there. There's a few of the little white bread pieces, but they'll break down for me. And I did add 2 more slices of bread just because I thought it needed it. So that was 6 slices of bread I added to this little recipe thing, right? Okay, all right, there's our bread stuff. All our crumbles we're wanting. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do, and remember, I don't have to put eggs in here because I made my cornbread eggy. My cornbread's eggy, but the eggs are done. So we don't have to worry about the eggs not being raw, or what the eggs being raw in the dressing. Okay? All right. Here's my sauteed onions and celery here. Okay. Now, get those stirred up in there. There's our onions and celery, cornbread, bread. Stick of butter's in there because it was in the, in the vegetables. So I like that. It's got that stick of butter going off in there. Now, y'all, it smells delicious already. Y'all know how good dressing smells, right? Okay, so I'm going to take me, let's see. I've got me a teaspoon here. I'm going to take me a teaspoon of my, to start with, a teaspoon of my chicken bouillon, right? Okay. And I'm going to, let's see here. I'll tell you what, because y'all know how I am about that sage thing, right? I'm going to start out with just 1/4 of a teaspoon of my poultry seasoning, and then I'll taste of it and see if I want to put any more in there or not, okay? I was going to do 1/2, but we're going to do 1/4. Because I don't want too much of that in there. I just don't like for it. But if you like it sagey, put it in there. Put it in there. Don't be scared. Okay. Looking good, y'all. Okay. Look at it up close. See? Alright. Now see, this is just a little old basic dressing recipe, right? If you got somebody that don't like all that stuff in there and everything, this is a good way to make it up for them. And it still tastes delicious, but it don't have, too much stuff going on in there that some people might actually not like. So now, what I'm going to do is I've got a can of chicken broth here, right? I lost my can opener. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I can't find my other little one. I'm just going to poke holes in it like this and make it work. Okay, here we go. You get this broth poured in here. Get her stirred, y'all. Okay, here we go with our second can. See how much of it we want. Can y'all see it? Oh yeah. See, like when I make the dressing for Thanksgiving and stuff, I like to have green onions in here, and I like to add my boiled eggs to it, chopped up. That all gives it texture and stuff. I kind of sort of thinking about leaving this a little thick so that I can, you know, pile it up in my little slices like that. Especially since I'm going to put the gravy over it. So y'all know what? I think I'm going to leave it right here at this thickness. Now, if I was making dressing for a pan, if I was doing my dressing in the pan to cook and everything, it'd be a lot thinner than this. It'd be way more soupy. But I'm wanting to, like I say, put this in between those turkey slices, and then we're going to put that gravy over it and bake it. So I think it'll be better off. I got a taste of it, y'all. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. See if it needs salt or... Okay. Okay. I'm going to add just a smidgen more. A smidgen of my poultry seasoning. There we go. That's it on that. Do me a little black pepper in here since I'm doing it in that casserole type thing, right? And a little bit, just a little bit of salt because the gravy stuff will be salty too, right? Okay. I think this is going to be just right now. And we're ready to start slicing our turkey up and getting it put up in our pan. There it is, y'all. Oops, I've been stirring it that whole time. Y'all ain't even been seeing it. Okay. There it is now. See, it's a little soupy, but not big time. All right, let me taste it, make sure now. It should be just right now. Oh, yeah. And you see, I can taste of it because the eggs are cooked. I don't have to worry about that. This stuff is done, right? Everything in here is cooked. I love that. Okay, I'm going to get regrouped here and get our turkey sliced, and then we'll get ready to start putting that together. Okay, so I got all my turkey sliced. I sliced it up in pieces as best as I could off of there. So I'm going to layer these. See, just however I can get them layered in my dish in here. And we'll put the dressing over it and layer them like that. There's my, you know, a while ago I said Lulu was going to be happy. Look at this, y'all. She going to love that. She going to be in a food coma tonight. A happy one. Okay, before I layer my chicken and my dressing, I want to stir up my gravy that I'm going to put on it. Now, this recipe that I came across, most of them, it seemed like they called for the instant turkey gravy packets. Well, I don't have those. And, you know, and that's no big deal to me or whatever, because what I'm going to do here, y'all, is I have a can of cream of chicken soup. Okay? What would the world do without cream of chicken and cream of mushroom? Right? I don't know. Let me get it out of here. Okay, I've got me a can of my cream of chicken soup in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and, I want to take my turkey broth first. That's going to be my first liquid I'm going to add to it. Because that's really going to give it some flavor, right? got all that turkey fat in there from off of that skin and stuff. That's going to be good in it. Okay. Let's set that over here out of the way for Lulu. Okay. Now we're going to put some black pepper in here. Alright, and some salt. Let me get it stirred up a little bit here. See how thin that's going to make it, because we'll probably add the rest of this chicken broth in that can. Okay. I'm going to make it kind of sort of thin, right? I see right now I can go ahead and just add this. I'm going to put it in there, no matter how thin it's going to make it. We're going to pour it over our turkey and dressing thing. Actually, that made it perfect, y'all. See that? Look at that. Okay. Now, I've got my dish. I've got me a 9 by 13 dish here. I'm going to spray it just because. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven on to 375. Okay, my oven's preheating on 375. Preheating. Okay. Spray my little dish. We'll take some of this gravy and just kind of spread us some there in the bottom a little bit, right? About like that. I'm going to have to back it up, ain't I? Because I don't think I can. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and take some of these turkey pieces. Y'all, if you had the, if you had the sliced turkey, you could do the roll-ups. Just lay them out, put your stuffing in there, your dressing in there, and roll them up, and then just lay them in here like enchiladas, right? But this is me showing y'all things that I do with my leftover stuff. And this was that turkey breast that I had in the freezer, and I'm going to make use of him, besides doing something like turkey salad or, the usual things you make with them, right? You enjoy coming up with different dishes with them. I don't want to make a pot pie with it, So we're going to take this and just spread it out like that, right? Alright, there's just a layer. I want to end up with turkey meat on the top, I believe. I'm not positive of that yet. Okay. Y'all. What do you think? Looking good anyway. Alright. Take me just a little bit. Just a little. There we go. A couple splashes. And now, some more of my dressing here. And y'all, this is going to make a big old dish. See, this is still more than what Buzz and I can eat. This would be a very good dish for a company dish. If you just stir up this little dressing thing, have you some sliced turkey, make you your gravy out of your cream of chicken, and layer it up and put it in the oven. That's what you got to do. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this in here because I want to end up, like I say, with my turkey on the top. Okay. Now, here we go with the last layer of the turkey slices. And layer it out in here. That's a big one. I think I'm going to tear him in half. Kind of spread them out a little more where they're a little more servable. Look at that, y'all. Okay. There is that. All right, here we go with the last part, which is our gravy on the top of it. Now, y'all, this is probably going to have to bake a good while in there. I'm going to leave it just like that, okay? I'm going to take it and put it on the cookie sheet like I always do. Because you never know, right? You never know. Okay. There it is. The oven's preheating on 375. I'm going to put it in there and we're going to let it bake. And I will let y'all know just exactly how long it took to get it to the consistency that I want it to bake to. And then I'm going to show y'all the other things that we're going to have to go with this meal tonight. So, our turkey and dressing all is in here together and ready to bake. I'll see y'all in a little while. Okay, you guys, I had it in there for just a hair over an hour, okay? And like I say, I think, what did I say, it was on 375? So, I just took it out. It's still bubbling. And put it down here. I want y'all to see it up close. Look at that. What do you think? I think it looks pretty dead burn good. Uh-huh. I'm going to let it set and give it time, you know. Let it sit there while I finish up the rest of my supper stuff and everything. And we'll get out some here in a little while and taste of it and see what we think of it. So, there it is, y'all. We'll be back. Alright, y'all. I wanted you to see what it looks like when we dig into it. I'm going to go ahead and show it up close here, Lynn. Show them how it looks there like that. And see, and I'm just going to dig into it now. See, it's had time to set up, which is what we wanted it to do. Look at that, y'all. What do you think? I think it's looking good. Oh, yeah, look. What do you think of that, Lynn? Look. I believe we're going to enjoy this, y'all. This is your layered turkey. It's your layered turkey and dressing casserole. It's really just a casserole, but it's a turkey and dressing bake that you're going to do in this. But there it is. Look at that plate for tonight. It's got our casserole on it, Buzz's broccoli he grew, and his wonderful Jackson Wonder Beans. We're going to be eating good in the house tonight, y'all. Y'all find you something good. Get in there and cook it in the kitchen and get together as a family and eat around that table. We love you guys. We'll see you next time in the kitchen with Tally Faye.